the new BMW 1000 XR. Today, I will be testing it to see if BMW has addressed the issues that bothered me with the old model. My biggest complaints about the old model were the pronounced bike wobble at higher speeds, the seat that was not only hard but also poorly shaped, and the ineffective wind protection. The new XR features a new and completely different seat design. While it's still hard, it allows for forward, backward, and lateral movement, making it significantly better than the old model's seat. I would prefer the seat to be thicker and softer, but this likely comes down to personal preference, and I believe most riders will find it comfortable enough. The engine sound still has quite a bit of mechanical noise, but this is a completely new bike, so I believe the mechanical sounds will quiet down significantly after the engine breaks in. What bothers me is that the XR is very quiet while riding, thanks to the new environmental regulations. During strong accelerations, the engine produces a beautiful sound, but as soon as the speed stabilizes, the XR becomes very quiet. Too quiet for my taste. The ergonomic riding position is excellent. The handlebars are ideally positioned for a rider of my height, 186 centimeters, and the legs are comfortably bent, ensuring that ergonomics won't be an issue even on longer rides. As soon as you start riding the XR, it's clear that this model doesn't hide its super sports roots. It doesn't like very low RPMs, but loves everything above 3,500 revolutions per minute. The ease with which the XR revs is fantastic, and it has far more power than even a very skilled rider can fully utilize. If you get a little carried away, this bike can become very dangerous for your driver's license, because the engine harmonizes so well with the suspension that you don't feel the actual speed. What you do feel is complete control over the bike, which readily and effortlessly fulfills all your demands with a huge safety margin. The bike is light and agile, super powerful and aggressive when you want it, but also comfortable for regular riding. The brakes are excellent, biting strongly and making it super easy to modulate the braking force. Even after multiple consecutive brake applications, the feel at the brake lever remains the same, with no signs of fading. The suspension in road mode is soft enough to keep the bike comfortable, but firm enough to hold the road confidently, making this mode likely the go-to for most riders on a daily basis. The dynamic mode, which is significantly firmer, will probably be used only during particularly spirited fast rides. Wind protection is better than on the old model. At higher speeds, there is wind noise and pressure on the shoulders, but no buffeting. And I'm pleased to say there is no more wobbling at higher speeds. The new XR is completely stable regardless of speed, which is a huge improvement over the old model that had pronounced wobble at speeds between 160 and 180 kilometers per hour. The gearbox is excellent, as is the quick shifter, though there is an occasional whining noise from the gearbox that I believe will disappear completely after the engine breaks in. I was very surprised by the loud chain slap on the guide when going over bumps or road imperfections. After this happened a few times, I stopped to check the chain tension, and it didn't seem loose, but the slapping continued. Every time I went over a bump or a crossroad imperfection, there was a very loud and incredibly irritating sound of the chain hitting the plastic guide on the swing arm. I asked the mechanics at the service center about this issue, and they said I was the first to report it and had no information on why it happens or if it occurs on all units. If you own new XR, please comment if this happens on your bike too, or if it is an isolated case with this particular bike. Another thing I didn't like about the new XR is the disconnected feel of the throttle at very low RPMs. This is most noticeable in first and second gear during takeoff and low RPMs, and it feels like the electronics are unsure how much throttle you're asking for, so it don't respond to small throttle movements. As soon as the RPMs rise a bit, this issue completely disappears, and the bike rides excellently. All in all, the new XR is an excellent bike, and I tested it mainly to see if it could replace my GS. I must admit that I'm a big GS fan, greatly appreciating its combination of performance, power, comfort, and safety, as well as the fact that I can cover long distances in a single day without feeling fatigued. The new XR has come very close to everything I want in a motorcycle. It is now a refined and highly capable bike that doesn't lag far behind the GS in terms of comfort, but offers a new dimension of riding with its power and agility, making it a definite contender for a potential replacement for my GS.